Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm just gonna go briefly over my March 2021 budget closeout. And these are the two that where I have my sinking funds or monthly envelope spending money. And I wanted to start off with going back and looking at the March 2021 monthly budget. And this is just for automated bills. Let's start with the income. My first paycheck, we budgeted $774 and it was actually $774, and that was on 3/5, and the second paycheck 3/20. It says overall. The second paycheck, I said it would be about $1,000. It was $1,050. And then for other, I budgeted $40, but I actually sold some stuff on Facebook and my husband did a side job, so that was $96. And so this came out to $1,920, which is earned income. But then I also got the stimulus check, which totaled out for the month for us to have $6,120, which was awesome. A lot of it went to sinking funds to be able to get ahead on those. The rent was the same, $725, doesn't change. $17 rent, insurance, and our PG&E was actually $48, which is awesome. I've been trying to be more mindful about having lights on. Internet, $45. Our subscription for our dog food is every 5 weeks. So this month we didn't have one for the month of March. And so then I put those $50 towards paying off my phone. So I actually paid $155. And then for Spotify, $15. Apple Memory, $2. Hulu, $2. And it actually came to my attention that Disney is actually $8. So this would have been $144. But I canceled it. I said no more. My son really likes Mickey Mouse, but he can watch little clips on YouTube. So I canceled the subscription, and hopefully I won't go back, but maybe, because summer is coming. Washing, I always pull out 100 quarters. Even if we don't use them, they'll just roll over. So in actuality, I spent $1,109 instead of the $1,144, but I still left it in my budget closeout. I left it as $143, so it was $1 difference. Okay, and then I wanted to show you how I decided to do my budget closeout. This is my first time doing it like this, so if you guys catch any mistakes, call me out on it. So I just put it all together for my automated bills because I know it doesn't make a difference to me. This is like something that needs to get paid no matter what. And I budgeted $1,143 and I actually spent $1,109. So that's 18% of the $6,120 that we had as income this month with the stimulus check. So those $34 that were left over, I decided to throw them into savings. And then for gas, I budgeted a total of $100, spent $98, and that's 2%. And then $2 are just gonna roll over and stay in the gas category. Sometimes when we visit our parents, we spend more gas, so I would like this to kind of be also a sinking fund. For car insurance and tags, we pay them once a year, so this is actually a sinking fund, but it's something that I know needs to get paid because next year I'm gonna need insurance. So $125 from our income, and then the stimulus check, I set aside $250, totaling it out to $375, and I'm just gonna roll it over to the car insurance and tags. And then for Weta, I budgeted $25 and then $300 from the stimulus check because I knew we were gonna take her in for some shots. So our total was $325 for the month, and we spent $147, which was 2% of the $6,120, and it left me with $178. So it's gonna stay in her little fund. Osvaldo got $50 of fund money, which also includes diapers, but he didn't need diapers this month, and $100 from the stimulus check, leaving him with $150. He spent $45 on clothes and toys, and that was only 1% of the 6,120. So in the end, he ended up with $105 in his sinking fund. My husband got $50 and $160 from the stimulus check, and the total budget was $210, and he spent $86, 1% of the 6,120, and he's left over with $124. And this is easier for us to create sinking funds because if we don't spend it, it's nice to know that we can spend it the next month or save up for something specific. And then for me, Sam got $50 and $150 from the stimulus check. So I totaled $200 this month, and I spent $156 because I bought stuff to start posting this content that I wanted to share, and I wanted to be more organized with my budget. So I spent 3% of the 6,120, and I had $44, and I just kept it in my account, rolled over into my sinking fund. And then for health, I put $75. Again, my husband gets $50 vitamins, so it's really only $25. And then from the stimulus check, I put $300 in there so that it could cover my glasses when it's time to get my new prescription for the year. So my total budget this month was $375. We spent $8. He didn't buy any of his new vitamins, but he will in April. So it was not that much. And so we have $367 left in our health sinking fund envelope. And then household budgeted $22, and I put $100 in there because you never know when you're going to need something for your house. So it's $122. Spent $2. We bought an alcohol that we needed to replace. So we have $120 in the household fund. And for adventures, I put aside $10 and $30 from the stimulus check, which gives us $40. We didn't spend anything in the month of March. We're still learning how to split up the categories. So there's still $40 in adventures, which used to be family fun time. Miscellaneous, I put $20, and I knew that I started off the month of March not really having categories, so a lot of things went to miscellaneous. So I budgeted $250 from the stimulus check, and it totaled out to $270 for the month. We spent $222. That's 4% of the 6,120, leaving that category with $48, and I'm just going to roll it over into miscellaneous. In car expenses, I set aside $75 a month because you just never know when your car is going to have an oopsie. And the stimulus check, I also did $150 from there, so that envelope has $225. Nothing happened, gratefully, to our cars, so $225 will stay in the car expense envelope. And then for food, we get food stamps currently, but we're in transitional food stamps, so I'm starting to budget money into that sinking fund envelope. So I did $100 from the stimulus check. Didn't spend anything, obviously, so $100 is in the food envelope. And then for moving, we might move apartments. I am not sure yet, so I budgeted $1,000 from the stimulus check, so that is what is in that envelope. And then memberships, I just said I just want to have them paid off, even though they're not due until August and October. So $60 is for my Amazon and $30 for a shared Costco membership with my sister. So now that sinking fund has the $90 that I need for this year for memberships. And then birthdays and holidays, I put $120 from the stimulus check. So that's the total budget for the month of March. Spent $34, started getting some things for my son's birthday in May, which is 1% of the 6,120, leaving $86 in that sinking fund for birthdays and holidays. For Christmas, I also got $100 from the stimulus check to put into that fund. So that fund right now, that envelope has $100. And then Osvaldo savings, I budgeted $55 from our March income, and then $1,000 from the stimulus check, since I believe it was $1,400 for him. So I decided, you know, he deserves that money for whatever he needs, or maybe it will end up being for his future. So there's $1,055 in that savings for my son. And then savings, I put $10 of our income budget. I eventually want to do savings first before anything, but because we're low budget still, you know, I just said, let's put something in there. I didn't put anything from the stimulus check. So there's $10 in there. We do have our 3 to 6 month emergency savings, but I wanted to start another emergency fund. And then non-budgeted money, obviously I didn't budget anything for that. Stimulus check doesn't have that. So $110 was extra income that I didn't count. So as you can see, these numbers are higher than what I budgeted. So I decided that those $110, you know, I didn't even expect them to come. So I just put it into the savings account, which for us is an envelope right now. So again, I'll show you how I did the income here. Paycheck 1, just like on our monthly budget, is $774, and then our second paycheck was $1,050, and then $96 as other, totaling out to $1,920, which is right here. And then the stimulus check was extra money, $4,200. I didn't want to mix it with the income, because income to me is like earned money or money from selling items online. I obviously put in some time to do that. And then this number I said matched up here, which is just for our automated bills, which is $1,109. So these numbers, which is pretty much the money that we didn't spend, but we saved it or put it into a category, was $4,213, and we only spent $1,907 of the $6,120. And then I wanted to see in categories where my money is going, and not too specific, just a little bit. It's pretty broad. So my bills, like my living expenses, is $1,109, which is 18% of the income I had this month. Other expenses, which is pretty much from the $98 all the way to $34, because this is money I spent, was $798, which was 13% of the total $6,120. And then in sinking funds, there's $3,000, which is awesome. It means that I'm actually working towards these goals of having cushions for certain things, and there's money in there. Was 49%. I expected it because this is my first month that I created my sinking funds. And my savings was a total of $1,209, which includes savings from extra money or projected, and for my son's savings was 20% of the $6,120. I would say that is pretty darn good for my first month of actually being intentional about my budget and tracking every single thing as it came through. If you guys would like this spreadsheet, I can clear out these categories and zero out everything, but I do have formulas in this Excel spreadsheet, so I'm more than happy to email it out to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stick around, like and subscribe.